Hey everyone, so I've been getting quite a few questions about lead generation and doing it on a smaller budget from, different people who've came just be it in my DMs or clients that we've talked to over the phone or things like this, where they've asked what to do on more of a budget where they don't have quite as much to be able to, let's say, invest in one of our programs or be able to run an extensive, 3-month campaign with retargeting funnels but still have a little bit of money and would like to get started. So if you have a smaller budget, you would like to get into lead gen, you'd like to start generating your first leads and your first clients online, but you don't quite have the money to invest with someone else yet. You just need to do it on your own. There's always, you're either rich in one of two areas. You're rich in time or you're rich in money. If you're rich in money, you're going to want to buy yourself the time, which is why you would pay somebody like me to do things for you. If you're rich in time, then you're going to be very, very careful with the money that you do have. Doesn't mean that you can't employ both strategies a little bit, but being able to just take the money, spend it, and then use your time to maximize the growth that that money is able to get you as a return on your ad spend. You can definitely still do that on a smaller budget with lead generation. And I thought I would just kind of give a little bit of a breakdown of exactly how you could do lead generation on a budget, what that would look like, what platforms to focus on. And yeah, I'm going to give a full breakdown here. Let's get into it. All right. So, making the most of a small ads budget when you are starting to do lead generation. So, first of all, we want to start at around the $15 to $20 a day mark. That is what I would recommend. $25 a day is probably your safest bet because your starting leads you may see to begin with might be, depending on the type of campaign you're running and what's going on with it, around $25 a lead for the first leads. And then you're trying to work ad costs down from there. So if you want to be generating about a lead a day, it's just going to be really, really slow if you're investing anything less than 20. You can maybe get away with 15 if you kind of get a little bit lucky, have some really good ads that you're running where you're able to get lower lead costs. $15 a day might be all right, but I would highly recommend starting at least 20, so saving up enough until you get to run 20 a day for at least a month. So that's about $600, depending on what month you're running it in, or even 4 weeks, that would be $560. So even 4 weeks, 28 days, if you're able to save up just that much to kind of get started with lead gen in the first place, that's probably your best bet. Is you're going to want to be doing $20 a day minimum. If you have a little bit more to invest, then great, bump it up to 25, maybe even 30 if you have. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. Now, getting into what you should do insofar as platforms. So, okay, if you have a smaller lead generation budget, you basically want to pack the absolute most punch that you can get out of that budget. So you don't want to be doing your marketing like a shotgun, spraying, pellets in all directions. You want one sniper bullet that's just going to hit its target, pierce, and penetrate through whatever it's going after. So that's what you want to be focusing on, is really one bullet, one platform. So what platform should you then be focusing on? Well, this entirely depends on kind of your situation, right? So I'll give you kind of a general rule of thumb. First of all, I think TikTok is a bit hit or miss and experimental. Now, if you're already posting often on TikTok, this will be a safer bet for you and it can lead to better returns. So if you have an active TikTok account where you are posting like once a day and you have been for the past like 3 months, so if you have like 50 or more posts up on TikTok, it will be a little bit more of a safer bet because people will be able to kind of go back and see that you have a presence there. But it is a little bit hit and miss, like I said. So the lead costs on TikTok can be absolutely phenomenal, can be better than, anything else. It definitely has the potential to be better than anything on Meta. But it really, like I said, is hit or miss. You could run a campaign for a couple $100 and end up getting absolutely nothing. So like I said, just be aware of that. You are taking a bit more of a risk when it comes to TikTok, but that risk is mitigated if you do have a lot more content up on the platform and have been active on it already. That's probably the best kind of case for success. I would recommend not starting on TikTok for your first ad budget, especially if you're like, running on a smaller budget. Wouldn't really recommend that TikTok would be your first choice. But if you're super, risk averse and you just decide to go gun ho and you want to just go for broke and you think, okay, well, let me try TikTok. I have, already a presence on here. go for it. Maybe you'll get really good returns. I would advise against it, but this is just kind of a tutorial for you to be able to do what you want with it. I'm just giving you the information from the experience I've had running these ads. So Instagram, likewise, is probably the best place to start if you already have a presence there. And then you can also switch over to Facebook with the click of a button because it's all meta advertising. So kind of similar to TikTok, you're going to want a little bit of a presence on Instagram, even if you're just posting like once a week and have a few posts. I'd say roughly the same thing. If you have like anywhere from like 25 plus posts up on Instagram, maybe it's a good idea to just start just on there and see where that gets you. And then if it doesn't work, you can just switch over to Facebook. I'll tell you why you'd maybe want to do that in a second. But Instagram is a good option because you can see a little bit cheaper lead costs that come from Instagram. And there's a lot more video features you have with Reels. Reels get watched a lot more on Instagram than they do on Facebook and things like that. Stories, same thing as well. So you do have a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more options when it comes to Instagram, insofar as getting kind of the best of both worlds, where you get a little bit of that lead cost as TikTok. It's not quite as good as the potential you can get from TikTok on lead costs, but it's better than Facebook. And it's not quite as safe as Facebook, but it's a whole lot more safer than TikTok to start with, especially if you already have a presence. So Instagram is a great place to start. If you already have content, I would recommend starting there and seeing where it goes. And if not, then like I said, you can switch to Facebook just with the click of a button. Now, Facebook is definitely the safest bet, especially if you have no social media presence. So if you've never done anything, even organic, never on Facebook, maybe you don't even have an account, whatever, Facebook is definitely your safest bet to enter. You're going to be able to generate consistent leads, but they may be at a higher cost as opposed to alternatives. However, that's the price that you're going to have to pay for stability, right? So Facebook is great when it comes to lead generation. They have a swath of data. People have been generating leads on Facebook for, I think, longer than any other platform, I would imagine. I can't think of anything else. Don't quote me on that, but I don't see any other platform that would have lead generation for longer than Facebook. So either way, this I can say is, in my experience, it's absolutely been the safest bet to start on Facebook. And like I said, the price generally is a little bit higher than maybe TikTok or Instagram would be, but don't get it twisted. You can definitely get the price down. I've had certain Facebook campaigns that have performed even better than Instagram campaigns, right? So and vice versa, even with TikTok, same thing, where I've had Instagram or Facebook campaigns where you're getting leads for $10 a pop, and TikTok, they're $25. So it is what it is. Sometimes that's the way that it goes. And Facebook can still be absolutely great for that. But I find it's definitely the most stable. It definitely lends itself the most to new users and new people who haven't done any lead generation at all before. And it probably has the easiest kind of layout as well. So it's really nice, especially like I said, if you already had an Instagram presence and you were doing ads on Instagram, you can switch right over to Facebook, which is the click of a button. You just go to the ad set level, you just click off Instagram, click on Facebook, and you'll start running. You can run even in the same placements, right? So let's say you were running on stories and feed on Instagram, then you can just do the same thing exactly on Facebook as well. So really nice for that, super convenient, and it definitely is the safest bet. But it generally, typically out of those three, will probably have the highest lead cost, but it's more stable. So those are the three platforms that I would recommend even mentioning really in the first place. TikTok, like I said, bit of a hit or miss. Instagram, best of both worlds, and Facebook is the safest, but probably the most expensive one to get started. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get an ROI though, right? Like if you're paying $25 a lead and they're closing for $250 every single time, you're making 10x on your money every single time. So, as opposed to paying $25 a lead to $20, risking it going on TikTok, right? It's not the end of the world. So then, like I said, going back to that analogy of the gun, we want to just continue to focus our spend as much as possible. So any opportunity we have to kind of like close down the spend, we don't want to be doing a whole bunch of split testing. We don't want to be running ads, we don't want to be running 50 different ads on a budget of $20 a day, because then you're getting, I don't even want to really do the math on that, but it's less than 50 cents. I believe it's 35 cents a day to each ad. You're just never really going to be able to spend enough money on an individual ad to be able to see any results. So wanting to focus on one ad set is really key, right? So Facebook's advanced targeting features do a really good job at finding your target audience after those first few leads come through the door. So just make sure to add targeting before to allow Facebook to get on the right foot, and then let the algorithm kind of work its magic. So those of you who have ran ads already are probably familiar a little bit with Facebook's backend. You can add all the targeting demographics you want. So let's say, I'm selling car insurance right now, and I'm going to target somebody, obviously car owner. I'm going to go after all the different car brands and car names, right? I'm going to put all those people in there. Put them in there, but also let Facebook's advanced, that right below that, you'll see Facebook's advanced targeting option. And maybe I'll do a video kind of breaking down the entire ads manager, and then I'll link it back to this one to explain to you guys exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But basically, there's a button you can click in the ads manager that allows Facebook's advanced targeting to be able to work. And Facebook has really developed this well. And the same thing goes for Instagram. This works for both Facebook and Instagram. It's in the Meta Ads Manager, I should call it, not Facebook Ads Manager anymore. But really, really, really good stuff where they've developed this algorithm down to a T where it may take you a bit more spend to get your first few leads through the door. So first few leads, I've seen it where, it took like $30, $35 to get the first lead. And then after that, next day, there's like the floodgates open because Facebook has identified, aha, this person clicked on the lead form. What are like 50,000 similar other people that we can show this ad to? And then bang, 3, 4. And then it just keeps building more data. And as you run the campaign, the lead cost just keeps going down and down. So like I said, went from one day, it was like $40 lead cost because they only got one lead. Woke up in the morning and it was down to like 10 when they got 4 or 5 more after. So just that's that algorithm feature that they have where with the advanced targeting details, definitely recommend adding that. And you don't need to then run multiple ad sets anymore. So you don't need to split test between an open ad set and a targeted ad set like you used to have to really do to be able to see, well, which one's going to work best, which one's going to not. Facebook advanced targeting takes care of all of that, does that split testing for you, and does it in a cost-effective way where as soon as it finds somebody who clicks on your ad, fills out the form, they know exactly who they're looking for from that point, and lead cost starts to rapidly descend, I generally find, from there. So yeah, don't run multiple ad sets, just run one ad set. Let Facebook detailed targeting take care of the rest. Fill in the little targeting information just to give Facebook kind of a head start and know, okay, well, initially this is the kind of group of people that I'm going to look for. And then once it finds a profile, it's able to latch on really well. And then video ads, they perform best, I find, on all 3 platforms. So that's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Ads should be 30 to 60 seconds in length. Open them up with a hook, give a really good offer or pitch, and then a clear and concise call to action. So when you're doing a video ad, and I've done videos on this in the past, for those of you who have the free TikTok course, you're going to know exactly how to do this. This is 100% like something that you need to be doing. Video ads are what's going to really, really, really kill it, but you need to be aware of how to actually construct your video ads to do well. And that's, again, just opening with a hook, capturing people's attention, giving them your value offer, so what you do as an agent, explaining who you are, you're not really your story, you don't really have time for that, but explaining who you are, what you've accomplished, and then why it's such a good idea to sign with you. That could be a super unique feature of the policy that you're writing. Like I know one person I was talking to recently had this really cool thing where basically they could write their it was like write their mortgage as a beneficiary to their will or something like that in their life insurance. So then that way the family gets the house paid off if the person passes away. So if you have like a super cool feature like that, put that in the ad, let people know, whatever, make something a really good offer and pitch that's going to draw people to actually fill out the form, and then state very clearly, when you click on this video, there's going to be a form, fill that out, I'll get in contact with you. So again, just make sure with your video ads, you're opening with a hook, giving a really good offer and pitch, and then a concise and clear call to action. Not much more to say about that. Video ads perform the best. Do them on whatever platform you're running on, and you're going to see your lead cost go way down. So that's what I have to say about that. And then when it comes to lead forms, you want to keep them as simple as possible. What I recommend, name, email, and phone number. In fact, you know what? I'll actually show you guys a lead form that we were running just so that you can get an example of what a proper lead form should look like. All right, so here is a super old lead form that we were running. We did add the option for a website, so I'll put our website in here. You guys can go visit that if you'd like to see all the results that we've gotten for all of our different clients using the exclusive lead system. But yeah, we had the option for a website that we added right at the start just because we were getting quite a lot of people. We wanted to just see who it was that we were prospecting. But then after that, all that it really was just simply name, email, and phone number. So I'll just put in a random number in there. I don't know whose number that is. It's not mine. So you can try to call it, but it's not me. And then all it was submit the info. And then you could take a look at our site after that. So that was the entire lead form. Very, very simple, very, very basic. Not a whole lot of text in here. It was just name, email, phone number, and then the option for a website if you wanted it. That was it. Now, the reason that we had that lead form so simple was we were going for volume of leads. And you have to keep in mind, and this is what you're going for too, especially on a smaller budget, you don't want to be getting incredibly qualified leads because it's not worth it for you at this point to really do that. You can qualify the leads manually yourself. That is what you need to be doing. You need to just simply go for volume, get as many people through the door as you possibly can. And in order to do that, you need to make the lead gen process as frictionless as possible. So if it's super hard for everyone answering 50,000 different questions about their credit and this and that and all this other stuff, they're not going to do that and they're not going to fill out your form. So just worry about getting the rest of that data from them after they fill out the form. Your first priority is making sure that they actually fill out that form. So make it as frictionless as possible, make it as little effort as possible for them to be able to do while still getting what you need from them. Get their email, get their phone number, get their name. That's all you really need. And then you can call them and say, hey, Bill, I know who you are. Let's go from here. And you can get the rest of the data that you need from them on the call, right? Like I said, you want to save that time, you want to spend that money, but then put in your time. So put in your time actually qualifying people, seeing if they're actually fit for the thing, getting more leads, allowing Facebook to continue to get better with the advanced targeting and drive your lead costs down because they're seeing who's filling out forms. Whether they're qualified or not, you can figure that out on the phone, and you can ask them any of the other questions that they need on the phone. Don't be doing that on the lead form. You're just going to get less leads. And you might skip over a really good lead who just didn't want to fill out your form because it was too long, and then you call them up and they were actually perfectly qualified. So keep your forms as short, sweet, and simple as possible. Name, email, phone number. I recommend just running on that. If you need to do something else, then put it in there, but I would really recommend just sticking with those three. So yeah, guys, that is our lead generation video. This is kind of where, like I said, I went over what you can do for lead generation on a smaller budget. If you have a little bit of a bigger budget and you're looking to if you have a lot more money than it is time, what we have is our exclusive lead system. It's a done-for-you multi-dimensional lead generating process, which means that we're generating on multiple platforms. Instead of just doing Facebook, we're doing all three: TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We have a strategy set in place to be able to do that. And the reason that we do that is if you're spending more on ads, your accounts are more likely to get banned. If you're more likely to get banned or restricted, we want to make sure that leads are always coming through the door for you, which is why if you get banned on one, you still have two others to run with, so you're always getting leads. We also include in this a lead nurturing process to help you capture more lead conversion, because with these leads, it's sometimes extremely difficult to follow up with each and every single one of them. So we make sure that we do that by implementing email campaigns, text campaigns, making sure that these leads aren't just generated for you and dead in a list, but they're actually getting on the phone and closing for you as writings. We can teach you how to manage this entire system yourself, or if you'd like, we can pair you with a trained and qualified virtual assistant who will do the entire thing for you and make improvements for you. And we hand it off to you once it's completed. There's no pesky monthly retainers like most of these agencies absolutely fleece and scam you with. We don't do any of that over here at Neste Renault. Hope this video was able to help you guys. If you're interested in the exclusive lead system, shoot me a DM on literally like any social media I'm on, pretty much anywhere, or drop a comment underneath this video. Hope you guys were able to find this helpful. Take care. Peace.